You might think of masturbation as a private, harmless act, especially as you age. It is often seen as a simple, available outlet for sexual expression, a personal ritual that carries little consequence. But what if I told you there's a quiet, often overlooked period in a man's life? A dangerous time for this seemingly innocuous activity that subtly undermines not just your physical vitality, but your deepest intimate connections and even your long-term health. It's not about the act itself, but the hidden reasons and contexts surrounding it that can silently, almost imperceptibly, weaken vital systems in your body and mind. I'm Dr. Benjamin Carter, a urologist and men's health expert, and for over 3 decades, I've had the profound privilege of helping men navigate the often complex landscape of aging, sexuality, and relationships. My mission is to cut through the noise and provide clear, actionable advice, empowering you to better understand your body and confidently navigate this profound phase of life. Today, we're going to tackle a sensitive, often unspoken topic: the dangerous time for masturbation after 60, and how it can subtly impact your circulation and, more profoundly, your intimacy. This isn't about judgment. It's about understanding, self-awareness, and ultimately, empowerment. We will explore the hidden pitfalls and, more importantly, discover how to reclaim your full vitality and connection. Many men, as they enter their 60s and beyond, operate under the belief that masturbation is a perfectly healthy, even recommended sexual outlet, especially when partnered intimacy becomes challenging due to various factors. It's often viewed as a reliable constant in a world of change, a straightforward way to manage sexual urges. But here's the quiet truth, a truth rarely discussed in locker rooms or even in doctors' offices. For some, this private act can become a subtle yet powerful mechanism that masks deeper physiological concerns and erodes the very intimacy they crave. It can become a substitute for uncomfortable conversations, a way to avoid confronting changes in their bodies or relationships. This isn't about the act being inherently bad, but about the context and purpose it serves in an older man's life, which can inadvertently lead him down a path of isolation and declining health without him even realizing it. I'm going to reveal the 3 critical contexts where masturbation can become counterproductive, a quiet drain on your overall well-being. And make sure you stay until the very end, because I'll uncover one specific psychological trap that almost every man over 60 falls into, silently impacting his circulatory health and intimate relationships without even realizing it. It's a mistake so common, yet so damaging, and understanding it can be a turning point for your health and happiness. If you're ready to unlock a deeper understanding of your body and your relationships, and to age with true vitality, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Your health journey is a shared one, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Your feedback helps me create content that truly helps men like you. As men mature, the landscape of their bodies and relationships naturally shifts. What was once effortless in youth can become a source of concern or anxiety. When we talk about the dangerous time for masturbation after 60, we are not suggesting the act itself is harmful. Instead, we are exploring how certain patterns of masturbation can become a symptom or an avoidance mechanism for underlying issues, particularly those related to vascular health and emotional intimacy, which are profoundly interconnected in men. Let's first delve into the physiological aspect, specifically how this behavior can silently impact your circulation. Erectile dysfunction, or ED, is often one of the earliest and most accurate indicators of underlying cardiovascular disease. It's a canary in the coal mine. Erections require robust blood flow to the penis, and if the small arteries supplying the penis begin to narrow due to plaque buildup, it's a strong signal that the larger arteries leading to your heart and brain might also be experiencing similar issues. This is why ED is often considered a predictor of future heart attacks or strokes, often years before other symptoms appear. The danger arises when masturbation becomes a primary sexual outlet because a man is experiencing ED, and he uses it to prove to himself that he can still achieve an erection and orgasm, rather than addressing the root cause of his erectile difficulties. He might avoid partnered intimacy because of performance anxiety, fearing he won't be able to sustain an erection, and instead retreats into a solitary sexual experience where he feels more in control. This allows him to avoid the uncomfortable truth that his body is signaling a potential circulatory problem. He might think, well, I can still get hard on my own, so it's not a serious issue. But by doing so, he bypasses the crucial opportunity to seek medical advice for what could be a serious cardiovascular health concern. This self-deception, this silent denial, is where the real danger lies. The act of masturbation itself doesn't weaken circulation, but the pattern of using it to avoid confronting circulatory issues effectively means you're ignoring a critical warning sign that could save your life. I recall a patient, Arthur, a vibrant man in his early 70s, who came to me with complaints of persistent fatigue and a growing sense of distance from his wife, Mary. He confessed with some embarrassment that he had been masturbating almost daily, not primarily for pleasure, but to test his erectile function. He'd noticed his erections with Mary weren't as firm or reliable as they used to be, and he was terrified of disappointing her, or worse, of admitting to himself that he was losing it. He started to avoid intimacy, making excuses, and instead found solace in solitary acts where he felt he had more control over the outcome. He believed this was a harmless coping mechanism, a way to maintain some semblance of his sexual self. But Arthur's testing was generating immense anxiety. Every time he failed to achieve a satisfactory erection during masturbation, his fear deepened. This anxiety, coupled with the avoidance of partnered intimacy, was creating a growing chasm between him and Mary. When we ran some tests, we found Arthur had significant arterial plaque buildup and elevated blood pressure, clear indicators of cardiovascular disease. The dangerous time for Arthur wasn't the masturbation itself, but the pattern of using it to mask his ED, which in turn masked a much more serious underlying circulatory problem. His emotional retreat was also weakening the circulatory bond of his marriage, replacing genuine connection with a solitary, anxious ritual. Beyond the cardiovascular connection, there's the nuanced interplay with pelvic floor health. While not directly about circulation, the pelvic floor muscles play a vital role in erectile function and continence. Overly aggressive or prolonged masturbation, particularly if coupled with poor technique or pre-existing pelvic floor weakness, can contribute to muscle fatigue, irritation, or even hypertonicity, where the muscles become too tight. This can indirectly affect local blood flow and nerve function, leading to discomfort, changes in sensation, and even contributing to erectile difficulties or urinary issues. The danger here is a lack of awareness of proper body mechanics and moderation, leading to subtle physical strain that can accumulate over time. Then, there's the profound emotional and psychological impact. Sexual intimacy in a long-term relationship is far more than just physical performance. It's about connection, vulnerability, and shared pleasure. When masturbation becomes a substitute for partnered intimacy due to ED or other challenges, it can lead to emotional isolation and a profound sense of loneliness. Men might feel shame or inadequacy about their changing bodies, leading them to withdraw from their partners. This withdrawal can create a vicious cycle. The less intimate a couple is, the greater the emotional distance, which in turn can exacerbate performance anxiety and further diminish desire for partnered sex. Societal perceptions about male sexuality don't help. There's a pervasive, unspoken pressure for men to always be ready, to perform, and to maintain a certain level of sexual prowess well into old age. When a man experiences the natural physiological changes that come with aging, such as reduced firmness or slower arousal, he often internalizes these changes as personal failures, leading to self-reliance through masturbation rather than seeking help or openly communicating with his partner. The silence surrounding male sexual health issues, particularly for older men, means many suffer in isolation, believing their experiences are unique or shameful. This cultural narrative tells men that if sex isn't effortless or perfect, it's somehow not worth pursuing, or that solitary acts are the only viable option. This couldn't be further from the truth, but it reinforces a pattern of avoidance that harms both individual well-being and relational health. Consider David, another patient, age 68, a former athlete who prided himself on his physical robustness. He started noticing that his erections weren't as strong as they used to be during sex with his wife. Instead of talking to her or coming to see me, he began to masturbate more frequently, often several times a day. He'd push himself, trying to achieve a level of rigidity he remembered from his younger days. Each successful erection brought a fleeting sense of relief, but each failure plunged him deeper into anxiety and self-doubt. He was using masturbation as a self-validation tool, and it was backfiring. He became obsessed with the firmness scale, rating himself after each solitary act. This constant self-assessment was exhausting and emotionally draining. His wife noticed his withdrawal, the lack of spontaneous affection, and the increasing tension between them, but didn't know why. When David finally sought help, we discovered his masturbation patterns were fueling severe performance anxiety, and more importantly, distracting him from the early signs of metabolic syndrome, which was impacting his vascular health. The dangerous time for David was when masturbation became a source of stress, a tool for self-judgment, and a barrier to a crucial conversation with his doctor and his wife about his comprehensive health. His solitary struggle was weakening the very foundations of his physical health and his loving relationship. So, what are the specific and actionable solutions to navigate this sensitive terrain and transform potentially dangerous times into opportunities for growth and vitality? First, and perhaps most importantly, address the foundation of your physical health. If you are experiencing changes in your erectile function, do not view masturbation as a workaround. See it as a signal, a crucial message from your body. Make an appointment with your doctor, ideally a urologist or a men's health specialist, to investigate the underlying causes. This means a comprehensive checkup focusing on your cardiovascular health. This involves blood tests for cholesterol, blood sugar, and hormone levels, particularly testosterone. Be open and honest about your concerns. Actionable Solution 1. Prioritize cardiovascular health. Embrace a heart-healthy lifestyle. This includes a Mediterranean-style diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Limit processed foods, excessive sugar, and unhealthy fats. Incorporate at least 30 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic exercise most days of the week. This isn't just about weight loss. It's about improving endothelial function, the health of the lining of your blood vessels, which is paramount for healthy erections and overall circulation. Regular exercise, whether it's brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, naturally improves blood flow throughout your body, including to the pelvic region. Second, for the emotional and relational toll, open communication is paramount. The silence around sexual changes in relationships is often more damaging than the changes themselves. Actionable Solution 2. Foster open and honest communication with your partner. Talk about your fears, your desires, and any physical changes you're experiencing. Your partner is likely more understanding and supportive than you imagine. Redefine intimacy beyond penetration. Explore other forms of physical affection and sensual connection. Cuddling, kissing, massage, shared experiences that build emotional closeness. Focus on pleasure and connection, not just performance. For couples facing significant communication barriers, consider seeking guidance from a couples therapist or a sex therapist. These professionals can provide tools and strategies to navigate challenging conversations and rediscover intimacy in new, fulfilling ways. Third, redefine and reframe your relationship with masturbation itself. It can and should be a healthy part of self-care and sexual expression, but its purpose should shift from testing or avoidance to genuine pleasure, self-discovery, and release. Actionable Solution 3. Practice mindful masturbation. If you choose to masturbate, do so mindfully. Focus on the sensations, the pleasure, and the connection to your own body, rather than using it as a performance assessment tool. This means letting go of the need to achieve a specific erection quality or outcome. Instead, focus on self-acceptance and enjoyment. Ensure it is a conscious choice, not a compulsive act driven by anxiety or an escape from deeper issues. If you notice masturbation becoming frequent, anxious, or an exclusive replacement for partnered intimacy, it's a sign to pause and reflect on the underlying reasons. Actionable Solution 4. Incorporate pelvic floor exercises, Kegels. For men, strengthening the pelvic floor muscles can significantly improve erectile function, ejaculation control, and even urinary continence. These muscles support the base of the penis and play a role in maintaining blood flow during an erection. To perform Kegels, Identify the muscles you use to stop urination midstream. Squeeze these muscles, hold for 3-5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds. Repeat 10-15 times, 2-3 times a day. Be gentle and consistent. It's about strengthening, not straining. With just a few minutes of consistent effort each day, many of my patients report noticeable improvements not only in their physical health markers, but in their overall sense of well-being, their confidence, and the quality of their intimate relationships within a matter of weeks. This isn't just about physical changes. It's about reclaiming freedom, choice, and a deeper connection to yourself and your loved ones. Imagine being able to approach intimacy with a newfound sense of confidence, free from the shackles of performance anxiety, or waking up each day feeling more energized and engaged because you've taken proactive steps to support your circulatory health. This is the transformative power of a strong body and a resilient mindset, and it's entirely within your reach, regardless of age. You're not merely managing symptoms. You're actively building a stronger, healthier, more fulfilling future for yourself. The changes you make today will ripple into every tomorrow, bringing greater joy, peace of mind, and genuine connection. But there's one more surprising, yet incredibly common hidden mistake that silently impacts your sexual health, your energy levels, and your intimate life, without you ever realizing it. It's the ultimate dangerous time, and the single most pervasive psychological trap. Most men are completely unaware that their internal narrative about aging and sexuality can be more damaging than any physical change. Specifically, the biggest hidden mistake, that silent thief of vitality, is using masturbation not for pleasure or self-discovery, but primarily as a performance test or a substitute for confronting intimacy challenges. This habit, while seemingly harmless, subtly trains your brain to focus on isolated physical outcomes rather than the holistic experience of connection and pleasure. It becomes a constant self-assessment, a judgment, and this can create a subconscious anxiety loop that directly impacts your body's natural response mechanisms, including your circulatory system's ability to support erections, and pulls you further away from authentic connection. It reinforces a performance-driven mindset that is detrimental to holistic well-being and genuine intimacy. The danger is that this internal pressure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, making true connection and spontaneity increasingly difficult. The ultimate truth is that your perceived sexual performance does not define your worth or your capacity for intimacy. Releasing yourself from this performance trap is the most powerful step you can take towards holistic sexual health. If this video helped you understand your body better and empowered you with new strategies for health, please share it with another man who desperately needs to hear this message. Let's break the silence surrounding men's health together. Your health journey is a shared one, and by engaging, you empower not just yourself, but countless others. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'll be sharing more doctor-backed advice made especially for men like you. Leave a comment below and let me know which of these insights resonated most with you, or if you have a question. I read every comment, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. You've taken the first crucial step towards reclaiming your vitality and confidence. Now, keep going. Your best years are still ahead, and you absolutely deserve every one of them to be full of health, strength, and profound satisfaction.